everyone. Welcome to Spirit Coffee Talk. My name is Elyse. I am joined by the lovely Ginette and Lisa, and we are some of the mediums and channelers from Avalon Spirit, coming to you every Friday to chit chat about spirit, about the energies, about all the things over coffee. Welcome, ladies.
Good morning.
Good to
Good
see you all.
morning.
I love our
Cheers.
mug
Cheers.
check-in.
Right?
Yes. What do we got going on today?
I
Mine
have in
is
New
one
York.
Brie colored when she was little.
Oh, that's so
So it's like
cute.
half colored in. Yeah.
I love it. I was gonna say it looks like
And yours is from New
watercolors.
York?
Yeah, my mom got it for us. She knows that we're
Hmm.
like, if you're gonna get us anything from anywhere, make it be a mug.
Same with
Mm,
us. I'm
I love mugs.
mismatched from all over the place. Me too.
Yeah.
love that.
Mugs are
I
my
know.
thing. I
Like, sorry,
got
but
that.
who has a matching
That's
mug
a good
set?
one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I love
Very
it.
nice.
It's Sarah's, my daughter's.
Wow.
Still on her. It's all good.
Caring is
And I
caring.
got the love shirt on today too.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
oh,
Yes. So
look at
it's
you.
like a bunch of love.
That
Love the
is,
foundation, it says. Love the foundation.
Oh,
It's
that's
one
a
of my,
great
ooh,
shirt.
yeah, it's
that's
money. I
amazing.
love it so much.
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
We need those vibes.
Yes.
So we had chatted about pulling some cards. The energy this week, we'll say, has been spicy. It's been there's been a lot, right? I think even some of the astrologers, and we talked a little bit about astrology last week, but everything that I'm hearing from people that know much more about astrology than me is that like astrology in November is banana sandwich. Like it's just super intense and the energies have been intense. There's been a lot happening. And so we just thought that we would pull some cards.
Mhm.
How has the week been for you guys?
Interesting.
Been the best week ever.
That's so good.
Because honestly, not because of anything that has transpired outside of my happy bubble.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about anything. Like I do. I obviously know. I'm not, my head's not in the sand. And it's not like I'm connecting my happiness with anything exact. The whole point is that my happiness does not come from outside things because I have maintained my bubble of safety, my love, my love vibes within my happy little household. I have not gone outside of that because I know the importance of maintaining this for myself right now. So that has been a very conscious choice, and it has literally been the best week ever because I have left the outside out and then maintained my like love frequency bubble with myself and my kids and my animals. It's been the best ever. And not to mention, I'm in like the middle of Canada, frozen central, right? And it has been gorgeous, like pure sunshine all week, plus 15 Celsius, which I don't know in Fahrenheit. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Fahrenheiters. I don't know that. But it's probably cold for you. But for me, it's like
It's
sunshine.
been
So
6 degrees for me. We
I
have
know it's
like
colder in
frosty.
BC than it is
Yes.
in Saskatchewan right now.
Yeah.
I'm like singing in the sunshine. I'm like receiving sun codes. It's been amazing. I don't know. My guys, I don't know what it is. Somebody's helping me out up there, I think.
Yes.
So that's my little spurt of sprinkle of happiness happening over here.
Mm.
We're building fairy, like my whole front yard in my flower beds is a giant fairy garden. And we're
Oh, I
using
love
like
that.
sticks and stuff, and we're making like these fairy houses. And like, I've been super into the fairy energy, and my kids obviously are just like next level excited about it. So I don't know, that it's just been a wonderful week for me. How
That's
about you guys?
interesting. I saw some elementals 2 days ago. I hadn't seen any in a long time. 2 days ago. Um, they came forward. I couldn't quite catch a conversation with them, but like they came into my awareness very clearly, visually, to make their presence known. And I was like, I'm gonna have to pick that up later when I have time and see what's going on. And then I forgot about it until you
Oh
said
my
something.
gosh, they're
Until now.
so present right now. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so much. I mean, the galactics keep talking about grounding into earth energy and all of that. So it makes
Mhm.
sense that the
Yeah,
elementals are really active.
totally.
Mhm.
Interesting. Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How about
And
you,
we've had
Elyse?
major solar flares.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, isn't there
That's a
a
big one.
storm coming in or now? A
We should be
geomagnetic
receiving
storm from
it.
the
We should be receiving it like
Let me
pretty
check.
darn soon.
Yeah,
We
PBQ.
yesterday already when I was receiving sun codes yesterday sitting there, I was like, "Oh my God, like so much that was coming through and transpiring." I'm like, "Whoo, hold on to your seats, ladies and gentlemen.
And the
It's
sun has felt
coming in."
so intense this week. So like I'm
Uh,
super sensitive to the sun where my body sometimes goes "Meh," and doesn't like it if it's too intense. And I found like we have a lot of windows and we're west facing. So we get a lot of sun late in the day. And our house like heated up this week from the intensity of the sun. Whereas like we get the same,
Did you like that? How
Yeah,
did that feel?
yes. Well, for me, it depends where my body's at. Sometimes I'm okay, and then other times my body gets very cranky with heat. So yeah, this week I think it was okay if I remember correctly. I have been
so,
my week has oh sorry, go ahead.
so I was just gonna say with the solar flare, there was an X2 um on November 7th, November
That was
6th.
yesterday. 6th is what?
So it was on the 6th, so we would be receiving the energy today.
Mhm,
Yeah.
I know I could feel it infiltrating yesterday. I
mhm,
was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, we're gonna
mhm,
Yeah.
feel a lot from the earth up."
Yeah.
Schumann. Yeah.
mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry,
you were
Elise, keep
saying?
going.
Oh, that's great. My week has been really busy from like a human life perspective. Like I feel like I live in my car and I'm just like to this place, to that place, to da, 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 to all over the place. So I've felt very just kind of like honed in on doing the things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Life slows down a little bit next week after this weekend. So, and it's a long weekend here in Canada and we have Remembrance Day on Monday. So I'm looking forward to like settling in a little bit and kind of grounding in because I haven't really been tuning in, haven't been, I just have really had to be like whoosh,
Yeah.
kind of blinders on and getting all the things done because I feel like I am getting pulled in a million different directions. So that's kind of been my week. I've been kind of like all of the things I always like to learn and know, and my brain likes information. So I find when I don't have information, I tend to, my brain like runs amok a little bit more. Whereas for me, I found a balance of, okay, gather the information. Once you reach a point of like, ooh, this is not making your body and nervous system and heart and spirit feel good, then we disconnect from the information. The brain has had enough. You know the things. Now return to, your practices or your
Mm-hmm.
quiet space or,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Um, so yeah, that's kind of been how I've been navigating the
Mm.
intensity this week.
I can feel your heart, Elise.
Mm.
I can. Do you have time like at all this weekend to just like maybe like lay out your yoga mat in your yard and like sit and just like receive some love?
Well, it's supposed to rain, so I don't know if I'll be in the yard, but it's
Receive the
also
rain, love.
banana, yeah,
Yes.
bananas that it's raining, and then I'll get sick.
Yeah.
Um,
We don't want that.
no, but yeah, I there's some intention, and there's also some like reconnecting with friends and stuff this week.
Mm.
Some belated birthday celebrations that we didn't get to tend to in October,
Yes.
the shit show that it was.
Yeah.
So it'll be like a nice kind of love-filled, calm weekend, which I'm looking forward to.
Good.
Good.
An exhale. Yeah. How about you, G?
Um, yeah. Mm. It's always good when it starts with lots of ums and
Mm.
yes.
Mm.
I have a family-based weekend, so that's great. I am feeling very in between dimensions a lot this week, to be honest. I've been feeling very present on Earth, but also present elsewhere. And it's actually been a little discombobulating in some senses, like even timeline flips or just conversations that I didn't have, but apparently did have, or ones that I remember that didn't happen. Like I'm really, I'm having to laugh my way through it actually, because it's not about me being like, oh my gosh, am I crazy? Or did I make this up? I know I'm not. And I know I'm not making this up. And I'm just witnessing the multidimensional aspect of myself right now and having to use humor to move through it.
Mm.
Mm.
Like in all ways. Like it's yeah, it's just funny. So
Oh.
that's me. That's me. So let's get into these cards for the energy. I already pulled some, so maybe I'll start.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay.
I have to read my book
Oh,
because
man.
these ones are very confusing.
Sure.
Don't know why I
So
pulled them.
this combo really, I think, is so beautiful for the energy at the moment. And this is from the Mystical Pocket Shaman. You can get it in a regular size too, but I just like tiny cards.
Same.
The for your tiny hands. So this first one, the staff, this is all about standing in your power. So this is like what you were talking about, Lisa, of like, do what you need to do to be in your full power. Like anchor yourself there right now because it's so important. At the same time, the upper world card speaks of like angels and galactics, and the higher realms are doing so much to support right now in all of the ways. And it's funny because this came through my Galactic Thursday message, which is very timely, that they said that the energy coming from Earth right now is really high vibey, and the energy coming from the galactics down is high vibey, and it's creating this like encompassing sort of egg around the Earth. And inside the Earth, though, is really stormy. So they're like, don't think you're not being helped, though, in the higher realms, in the subtle realms, in the energetics. There's a lot going on there. And so they said, what you might feel, or what we might feel right now, is this energy of standstill, where it's kind of like you don't know, you either, so this could come in different ways. For some, this could be like you don't know which direction to go into with your life, with your senses, with your whatever. Or you don't know which way the world is heading because you're confused. Or this could also mean taking time to pause away from everything and just be in the energy of a standstill right now. Focusing on your energy of authority, holding your staff, being present, being willing to like take time to catch your breath in a sense and allow some of the higher realm energies to work in your favor. But you have to be anchored. You have to anchor yourself to really connect into that higher realm energy. And sometimes that takes a pause. There you have it.
I love that.
I love that too. Ooh.
The standing in your power piece, especially kind of from like with a higher and lower energies coming, it just that feels so important right now. Is like standing in your own power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lisa, what did you get?
Okay, so I'm using the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. Very symbolic message. Sorry.
How many more
Okay,
times
so
can you use that word
I
too?
know, right? So, of course, the first card that jumps out is Earth energy, right? Yeah, and that's number 11. So 11's 111. If ones have been coming up for you, lots, Earth energy. I mean, I've been talking about it a ton with like in my own readings and stuff, is that how powerful Earth energy is right now. And then what did I get that came out after was grounded. And so grounding in the Earth energies, especially when there's so much going on, right? Just like we were saying, when there's so much going on, grounding into the here and the now. And like sometimes when we, what are they saying? Touch Earth. So like when we get so focused on things outside of ourselves, we will seek it and it will continue to show up. So whether that's like deep diving into the land of the internet or Instagram or whatever it might be, or within like conversations that we have and like groups of people and stuff, we will continually have this unconscious confirmation bias, essentially, especially when the energy is so big right now. So it's almost like this portal of energy opened up into multiple different timelines. And it's so crazy with all the timelines going like this, and that you're able, like, you will easily get pulled into a timeline based on the conversation that you have or the energy that you're seeking or finding yourself in. So this is a really important time to really like touch Earth, come back and look around what's around you. And you can like be in that moment and say, what do I see now? What is right in front of me right now? What is important right now? And not even important, but like, what is true? What is truth right now? What am I seeing? And what is truth right now. And that's really, really important, especially when we're feeling a little off balance. And then that came with the healer. And so the healer message for me is, that's number 32. That is like the healing energies of the earth is what is real and what is true in this. And then this really came up with you, Elyse, too, is friendship. Now that comes number 17, if that number resonates as well. And the friendship card is like, it's connecting heart spaces in a way that is in alignment with that energy for you. So even when certain friends that we've had for a super long time, you know that getting together, conversating might take you out of that higher timeline. That's okay. Give yourself full permission to be very choosy about which relationships, friendships, interactions you have that will align you with that highest consciousness timeline, with that healing frequency. And if it's not, if it's just self, that's fair. But like, allow the friendships and relationships to lift you, to reflect back to you that frequency in which you're comfortable in residing, versus continuous conversations over and over and over about the drama, about what's going on. It's like, the more that you take part in it, the more that it's going to happen. And then you find yourself, you're like, what? Why is this everywhere? Well, because that's the timeline that you just got pulled into because of this confirmation. And so they're like being really choosy about that. And the best way to pull yourself into the highest timeline available is grounding on earth. What is available right now? What do I see that's real right now? Pull yourself away from the screen for a sec. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so I pulled from the Sacred Forest deck. Oh, can I see it? And then I also pulled the White Light Oracle.
Ooh, love that one.
This one
Those
was
are
calling
two
to me.
powerful decks.
And I was like, I don't want to pull from this one because I don't know what any of them
Cards are
mean.
too big.
They're so intense. Seriously, I can barely
they're
hold
so
them for
big.
one.
So
Like,
big.
I can barely hold the box. Look at those little fingers just clinging on. But also the meanings are so big and the write-ups are like 4 pages and they're all these words and I'm like, I don't know. I can't look at this card and be like, oh, I understand what this means. So I want to go last because I need to read the novel.
They're so powerful.
They're so powerful. Yeah. So Sacred Forest is a little bit more intuitive, but I also read the meanings because I felt like there was some specific words in some of them that I wanted to pick up on. So the first one is the maple spirit, and it talks about generosity. And Lisa, as you were talking about friendship and like connection with others, I was at a conference last week where this was really prevalent in relation to like how we care for each other in community. And a lot of systems and the world that we're living in has us very separate from one another, and we're all suffering in a lot of different ways because of that separation. And that our world isn't set up in a way to like really truly deeply support us in the way that we need now, and that the way we'll need in future, and as we, you know, all go through what life brings. And so the idea of like community care has really been on my mind a lot, just in my work and all sorts of different things. And so this maple spirit really, it speaks to generosity of caring, but it also really felt for me like a strength and a sturdiness to also provide and give to others. And then when you don't feel like you have that strength and that sturdiness, to allow others to provide and care for you. And it's that mutual give and take, and that mutual just desire to support one another and be there for one another. Because the reality is, like, we can't go through any of the things alone. And when people move through hardship in whatever way that is, it's usually done best, quote unquote, when you have the support of others. Even this last, you know, month and change for me, we could not have moved through everything that happened without the support of others. But that's often really hard for us to access and to ask for. So if you don't feel like you have that community, know that you have community here. And I often see people like messaging each other in our comments and things like that. There's community in Avalon Spirit. And there's lots of ways that you can find community, both, in person and online. It's not always the same online, but it can be necessary sometimes. And then with the maple spirit, it also talked about how they're known to withstand environmental changes and can survive and thrive in various climates. Some traditions believe that the maple lends strength and power to those around it. So again, it was that really that strength, but they also have the maple syrup, right? The sweetness, the softness, the like coziness alongside with them. The next card was the Pegasus and Transcending.
That card is everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
And really with what both of you were saying, right? With we're shifting. Sometimes that shifting feels bumpy. And we've talked about that so much from all of the different things happening in the world. And yet we're still moving through it. And then the third one, Bluebird Spirit, which is happiness. And so for me, I thought it was funny too that we were talking about this can feel really interesting. There's also a unicorn on this one that I've never seen before. We were just chit-chatting about our weekends, and we were just like, we don't always talk about what we're doing this weekend. Like, what are we doing, for joy? And I feel like that is where we can reconnect to those aspects of life. If life feels hard, if things feel challenging, if you're stressed, if, whatever's going on, like not forgetting the power in that, because it is really powerful. So, okay. And then this one. So it is.
Oh my God, I pulled that one for the energy this week.
Oh my God.
No way.
Yeah. Like it's sitting right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So beatitude of sacred rapture. But
yep.
like again, what I don't know. Here we go. But when I was reading it, I was like, oh, yeah, that really makes sense. So the little kind of blurb that speaks to the general summary of the card says, let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing beneath conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of a joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith and wisdom than in judgment or doubt. Commit to your spiritual path and know you are making progress, even if things seem more difficult for a time. Know that any such difficulty is a part of your healing and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself.
Beautiful and timely.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Very timely. So I feel like each one has a very specific message that the people watching will be like, oh, that's either for me, or they'll get little tidbits from every single one. These are really, really spirit driven for the people who are watching this. So like you're watching this, there's message here for you for sure. Yeah.
I want to just add one last little thing.
Okay.
I'll put these together, but I was drawn to pull one more time from this red deck that we all have that is like such a good starter deck. And it was to emphasize the energy of the standstill, right? Of this this time right now where things aren't like complete, or the whole story isn't there, or like Pluto hasn't moved into Aquarius yet, right? Like it's still transitionary, and that's kind of that standstill energy. I got between worlds, which is like you're in between, you're transitioning through it. Round and round, which is like you're seeing things come around again, and like, when is this going to stop, or when does this settle, or whatever. And then unfinished symphony, which is like things are not done yet. Like the energy is that it's still moving. There's still momentum. There's still things happening that we can't see energetically. And so then it was just about like, breathe. And I just thought this was so cool because it was like 3 cards to emphasize like, hey, FYI, there's like, yeah, you're in it and it's moving, but Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Don't freak
Mhm.
out. Stay
Yeah.
grounded, right?
Jay, I
Like
was just gonna say, go sit outside or sit by
sit
the
Mhm.
outside,
window or
Find
play
something.
in
some
the
joy.
dirt.
Yeah,
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
amazing.
Well,
Thanks,
hopefully
ladies.
that was, yeah. And thanks for joining us. Hopefully that was helpful for everyone. We were just saying that before we logged on, that we really love pulling cards because it just allows for things to just kind of flow and we don't have to, what are we going to talk about and what do we want to bring forward? And I think, as we're shifting in the energies of the month and the intense astrology and all the things that are happening, apparently the full moon's going to be a spicy one too.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
that too, actually. That
I haven't really looked into it much, so I
yeah.
don't know in what way, but yeah, hopefully one of these messages or all of them resonate in a certain way to help you navigate whatever you're going through this week. So we hope you have a beautiful week. Let us know what resonated for you. Let us know if there's any other topics you'd like to hear from us in future, and we hope to see you again.